So yeah, with the season starting and with the tourists coming back to Lake Como, guys, I had to transition from street photography to shooting portraits. Again, after my fair share of wedding, now I am back into portraits photography. Let's see together if this glass is the good one for that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from One Lens Only, and today guys we're gonna double check together if the one lens that I got, which is the 28 to 75 Tamron G2, is good enough for portraits, because I switched from my OSS f4 Zeiss, which I loved also much, despite it was a bit too short and not bright enough, to this glass, because I had this 5mm additional on the long side and also one f-stop aperture, which helps with the bokeh. Now, since they're asking me to have portraits of everything, family, couples, even people declaring themselves, and we will see in a few moments, they asked me to record and to shoot photos while the thing is happening, and so I have to double check whether 75mm is long enough for portraits, or if I still need an 85 or a 105mm. I think that it is enough compression. Now, of course, in photography, everything is a compromise. We're compromising on focal length, we're compromising on f-apertures, we're compromising on light. And so I have to go around and put a patch here and there every time that I see some limitation, unless you want to go around with a bag full of gear, which I don't want to do. So we have our standard lighting conditions. So we try to have as natural as possible the light from outside, and to balance it with LED lights or with flashlights or reflectors, and we try to see if 75mm is the max focal length I have in this G2 glass is enough for the compression for portraits. I think so, but let's see it together. So I'm gonna start recording here the screen, because I am using Luminar Neo for a few retouches on the photos. Now, this one is nothing special, it's not a nice picture, but I wanted to show you that we have here and there some gear. This is my bag and this is the guy's bag, and then I was using another tripod, the cheap one, for the reflector. So I was keeping the reflector in position, but let's see, because with just a few edits we can show you what this photo was worth it. So just the accent, and then we're gonna auto adjust the color. Let's wait for it while it does it, and then the next thing that I have to do is to put a patch here on the vignette. Despite, of course, this is not a good framing, so we want to have the balancing of the vignette like that, and it's way too bright right now, so we need to adjust the crop, because of course we don't want to have all these elements in our photos, right? So this is not a good pose, because as you can see, there's no way to clean out the other people. So I just wanted to show you the cut and the way to set up stuff when you're using a reflector, because basically this takes the sunshine coming from natural light and reflecting it on the faces that otherwise would be way too dark. And so right now they are lit just enough, despite, of course, I will have to zoom way more than that to clean away the other tourists that you don't want to have in your shots, right? So this was just an example. Now, the second photo that I'm having here, we can do the same thing. We can just enhance. As you can see, the bokeh helped a lot in removing the other tourists from behind them, and I'm still using the reflector. So you see we have this soft light coming from the shade side, because the light is hitting from behind. So this is why we have this well-defined head here and there, and then I'm using a reflector to lit the face of the guys. While here I'm using another thing. Now we can eventually erase the other tourist, no problem. We are just adjusting, and I use this surprise factor, because when you come out from the shade of the trees, then the light hits you, the light coming from the sky from above. Now we will have to adjust the colors. It's a bit too greenish, and as you can see, using this surprise factor coming out from the shade of the tree, we have them both lit evenly and with soft light. But then you want to see a change in frame, because here we had the composition using also some brown. And so what can we do here? We can eventually enhance the photo. Of course, I had to use this framing because we had no other tourists in the background, and then we can just either auto adjust or use the exposure and all the other sliders. As you can see, it's quite a good job that they did, but I would eventually also go and check on the colors, because as I was saying, Luminar Neo allows you to change the saturation but also the luminance by each color. So let's say that here the greens are too bright, we can darken them a bit without affecting any other thing. And so the luminance you want to have a bit more on the oranges and on the yellow, and then eventually we can go and adjust the rest of the contrast, or giving a bit more light, or eventually even increasing the shadow. As you can see here, I'm only retouching in post-production because they were evenly lit and all the faces had this soft light. But what happens when you have hard light? So now here we have hard light hitting from the front, and as you can see, we have these raccoon eyes. So you can either have a soft distribution of light, or you can use a speed light flash. Reason for which, now I will stop the recording here, reason for which I purchased a Godox V860 and the X3 remote controller so I can have the flash off camera. So stay tuned, because in the next weeks I will be shooting many other couples, many other proposals. 75mm apparently gave us enough compression, so I'm happy with the end results that I had from this glass. F2.8 is bright enough. Now, full disclosure, all the photos that you saw, I put a ND8 filter in front of my glass because I wanted to shoot wide open to have this separation from the background, but it was eventually too bright to do so. And so I put an ND8 in front of my glass. I put a CPL filter in front of my glass to have these greens really popping. And as you can see, the colors were bright and brilliant and luminant enough. It was satisfactory to me to see the end results, but I will have to double check and to pause, because the moment I'm using again a speed light, you can even go for a broader depth of field, so you can shoot at f8, f11. Right now these guys, it was focused on them, but if you want to see the lake, as I imagine most of the tourists will want to see the ambience all around them, then I will go down to f8, f11, put the camera on a tripod and have a speed light to either as a filler or to have some light directly hitting their face from the shadow side off camera. So guys, stay tuned. I think that this Tamron G2 glass is fair enough. It's wide enough to get some certain shots, and it is also closed enough when you want to go for portraits. So this is a good compromise. Of course, it's not the best glass out there. It's quite sharp, it's quite bright, it's quite pleasant to the eye, the results I'm having, and also the compression is good. Of course, the very limitation is imposed by myself because I want to use one lens only. Guys, I don't want to get crazy when I'm out there in studying how many different lights, how many glasses I have to change, how many SD cards, how many remotes. I just want to have one setup, because everything that you saw has been done, even more photos than that, in 1.5 hour session. So in 90 minutes, you have to scout, you have to walk, you have to set up the lights, the reflectors, recordings, and the audio, and the colors, and everything. So you have to process a lot of information, the changing in lighting conditions, the changing in the surroundings, because maybe there are tourists entering your frame, so you have to adapt zoom in, reframe. This is also the reason why I'm not using a prime for this kind of service. But let me know down here in the comments if you have any specific question about the setup and about the solutions. And with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it to your social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.